project manager now, Kevin Riley, and he'll probably send it over to Tommy that you guys get it printed and laminated. I don't know if they'll laminate it and send them to you laminated or anything. But yeah, once we're done with the project, we turn those over. So it'll be like a one. Yeah. Press logo, turn on the screen. It's going to come to a similar screen as before, but here you're going to choose your room mode if you're in separate or combined. So if the rooms are separate, or if they're combined, how you want to operate it. And then audio conference or presentation. So right now we can just start with separate and go into a presentation. And then it's going to ask you right away to select your lectern location. So you select left, center, or right.
Can I ask a question before you go any further?
Yep.
On the screen previous to that?
Go ahead.
You said presentation or audio, but what
Yes.
if you're doing both together, accommodation?
We'll get to that here.
Okay.
So yeah, because that was.
You're ahead of the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they
So you
just said
can.
that, and I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you can
good
really
question.
go in any order here. So right now we're in the left lectern position, so we'll choose that. So here on every page you will have, at the very top, you have audio call, presentation, DVD controls, and you can switch between the three at any time. So that's just kind of your initial setup, what you want to set up first, but you can set them up in any order. So yeah, so you have the presentation here. Since we went to separate, you have your PC and DVD, and then you just have the two screens in this room to be able to control. So you do have text below. It'll give you the state of the projector if it's off, or it'll show you what source is currently routed to that projector. Since these can really only take the same source, for the most part they stay the same. So you're going to select your source and then choose your screen, again just like before. If you want to send it to both, just push them both. And yeah, it states underneath now that it's on the Freestone PC for that screen. We don't have a PC connected though right now. I can grab it if you guys want to see it up and running and
Yes.
play some music, hear the audio. It's when you plug the panel back in, because it assumes that you've changed lectern positions. I want you to come back and choose that. So now that we've chosen our lectern position, we have to reroute our PC so it gets the correct position up there. So, and that being said, if you have audio, if you want to just go ahead and play a video here. I guess they're these YouTube and see what comes up. No, you went to a Cisco thing yesterday, huh? Or not yesterday, a couple days ago. So right now the audio is also set to default levels every time you start up the system, to where it should be, you know, a fairly reasonable level. This room had very low audio before that I had to adjust. I'm not sure where our PC level's at. That does seem a bit quiet, but you do have your volume control on here where you can increase that.
Do that one more time.
So you have your volume down here at the plus and negative. You can, you know, increase or decrease your volume, or you can mute it in the room as well. I can likely give a little more headroom there. Your PC's coming in a lot lower than my phone did yesterday. Unless it's down. Go ahead.
Let me just get another video, a longer video.
Interested in getting your Cisco CCNA certification? Then you've come to the right place. My name is Alex, and I have a killer.
Cisco Certified Network Associate, Day 1. Welcome back everybody, I am Imran Rafai, your trainer for this entire series. Today we will be starting with network fundamentals. And when I say fundamentals, we would deal with the very basic of the networking industry. So this video ideally is not only for the people who are going for the CCNA certification, but anybody who's interested to or looking to start a career in networking, feel free to watch this because you are going to learn a lot. But CCNA as a certification, it's a very valuable certification, and I urge everybody to go ahead and take that certification because it is going to add a lot of value. Before I go any further, I would ask everybody to concentrate on the first 3 days of our video because we will be covering a lot of very, very basic concepts which if I can dare, I would say it is going to be the base of your
Is the mic turned on?
Yeah, the mic's gonna be active as well. Check 1, 2, 3. Test.
So we used to have a lot of feedback with that as
And
well. When the
yeah.
volume is turned up here and someone gets the mic, we have feedback.
So that's a difference that I made. The way the audio was done before doesn't follow our standard as a company.
Cut that volume.
Just gonna mute it here. Yeah, you can pause the video or however. So the way the volume was done before doesn't follow our standard as a company. So before the volume was just one main room volume, and then you had audio conference separate. But with your main room volume, now you're adjusting everything, including microphones, program, and everything. So here you just had this volume control only adjusts your program, which will be your DVD player or your laptop volume. It's not going to affect your audio conference or your microphones in the room. When you go to the audio call, you will have a different volume control down here. It shows incoming volume, so now that is your phone volume. There is also a volume control page here to access them both on one page. The only way to adjust the microphone volumes is through that panel back in the room.
That's what I was going to ask you next.
Yeah, so and every time you start up the system, it brings it to a nominal level. So right now that both systems have been started, all the microphones are at their default level. So I want to go over those with you as well and make sure they seem acceptable to you guys, because we can adjust that default level. Because without getting into that closet, that's where your mics are going to be all the time. And so I want to make sure that that sounds good to you guys. Microphones typically don't have to be adjusted unless you have like somebody who's sick, a very soft speaker, or things like that. As long as they have, the lapel attached properly or using the mic properly, the levels typically don't need to be adjusted.
Okay.
So that's another thing that we can do is go over those mic volumes at this default stage and, see if they seem acceptable to you guys. That's where I had, set them, but it's a little hard to EQ it while you're talking and listening to yourself. It's not the easiest thing to do. It's better with 2 people, but yeah.
And all of these take AA batteries.
Yes, I believe so.
We
Never
need to get
10.
some more down here.
Is there not a battery, like a big battery that you can get to attach other than putting AA's on the mics?
I
Or
don't
you-
believe so.
We wouldn't want that because
Huh?
then the battery would disappear and then you wouldn't have it. I mean, seriously.
Really?
I mean, you can buy.
Right.
Spend $1,000 on batteries. Is it really going to matter? That's the best way to just. They're easy to pop out. They're easy to replace. They're easy to
Okay.
get.
I was just thinking one big battery though, then it would last long and.
Yeah, but that would be hard to find. We can get AA's anywhere. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's the best solution.
Okay.
Okay, so you gonna talk?
Yeah.
Well, let's go to the back of the room and see how
I
you
just
do.
already turned on.
Say something
Yeah.
profound.
Okay, we are here at Cisco in Lawrenceville, Georgia.
We knew that already. That's not
Yeah.
scary.
No, not at all. I'm not much of a speaker though, so unless I'm reading something, I just go over the room
This is-
description. That's the
this is our
easiest thing to,
comedian.
yeah. Yes, there are tables, there are chairs. I think I counted 56 chairs the other day
Yes.
when I was on the phone with our engineer because he actually had the same comment.
I'm good.
All right, same here with DVD. As I mentioned, there's a bottleneck. You guys are probably familiar with these systems since the DVD and PC go through this same switcher. When I switch DVD, it's going to switch everywhere. I'm guessing you guys are familiar with that from the original design.
Mhm.
Everything here will update here, showing that everything's now with a Freestone DVD. I threw a DVD in there. You can unmute our audio. So to get to the DVD controls, you have the DVD controls button up here. And I'll give you the same controls you guys had previously. Here, go to scene selections here.
Go over that one more time, please.
Go to what's that?
Go over that one more
The
time.
DVD controls?
Yeah.
Okay, when you're over on presentation here, up at the top you have your audio control, presentation, and DVD controls. So you select DVD controls, and that'll bring you to the controls over here. So now I just went to scene selections, going to select a scene, and it'll start playing here. Yeah, and your typical transport controls, and then some menu navigation controls. They're the same controls that were on the panel previously. So next, going to next scene, previous and back. Fast forward, you can tap multiple times and it will increase the speed. Same with rewind. If I play it here, and with rewind, you tap it multiple times, it'll increase the speed of your rewinding. Then typical pause and stop. Menu will take you back out to your disc menu.
Does anyone ever use DVD?
I don't think so. I've never seen it.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said most will just play DVD through their laptop, which
I don't
is
know
very
what that is.
common.
Yeah.
That's actually the way a lot of systems are designed now. There's a lot of our engineers even ask the question, you have laptops, do you really need that DVD player?
Well, that's what I was gonna, that's why I was asking, do they really use DVD? I mean, it's still good to know, but.
Well, it's good to rack it up if there's gonna play one, they just change over to controls.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was just curious.
All right.
Sounds
So
good.
yeah, I'll mute that audio, and if you want, we can go and make a phone call. If somebody wants to volunteer, I can call their cell phone, or add them to the speed dial.
Call yours.
Override mine. No.
No.
You don't have it with you?
I do, yeah.
Call Brian.
What's his number?
770
91770
331
331
4802.
4802, and then hit call. So this one can work similar to the old system that you can dial the number and press call, or you can hit call and it'll take it off hook and then dial the number live.
Hey, caller, you're on the air.
Hello.
Stay
There you
on.
go.
Darling.
Goodbye.
Location.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Yep,
So,
it's coming through.
so one addition on this panel that you didn't have before is a privacy mute button. I'm guessing you guys are all familiar with that. It's a mic mute. So you tap that, and that's going to mute all your mics to the external line.
Oh, good.
So that way, yeah.
So he can't hear what we're saying about him?
Yes.
Yes.
Good, okay.
Yes. And it does work, so you don't
I
have
know
to
it
worry
though, in
about
my
it.
heart.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is there. You have that privacy mute to mute all the mics to the external line. When the system's combined, each room controls their own phone line, so you can actually make a call from both, and then they can hear each other. And with the privacy mute, it'll keep that active, so that way they can't hear you, but they can still talk to each other.
Oh, good.
So if you just want to kind of cut this off and allow the two parties to
Yeah.
talk, I don't know if that feature's ever used or was ever known existed.
No, that's good. That's a good thing to have. So
Yeah.
I also like that it says call and end call as opposed to hook, off hook, and I have to remember my childhood with the rotary phone.
Yeah.
Is this
It's
off?
like off or on?
Which one
Yeah.
is this?
Yeah. So with the speed dials over here, you can dial a number and then press and hold any button to store it. Takes about 3 seconds, then you'll see the number update there. So now you are in the speed dial list. Unless you take something else and override it.
To override it, you just hold it
Yeah.
after you dial the next number?
Well, yeah, so you type any number you want and press and hold it, and it'll store that number.
Okay.
Here, I don't have them stored, so they're just generic buttons. But top one right now is mine, so you tap it and it calls. You press and release rather than press and hold, it'll dial that number.
That's good. That'll be great for
So-
Webex
That's what I started to say.
because I'm always fat fingering.
Yeah.
A room full of people.
Test 1, 2, 3. And here we are in the call. So, all right, works very similar to your, phone at home. You do have redial and flash. The hook flash didn't seem to be doing much. Doesn't look like you guys are set up for remote calling, things like that. But yeah, redial. It's gonna call me right back. It's just gonna take the last number that was dialed and redial it.
See, I don't know that we ever do three-way calling.
Yeah, the flash button was there before, so I left it there. But
I mean, we typically do things on Webex, so everybody's dialing into a conference bridge. So
yeah, it's something that's rarely used. But some request it, and since it was on the panel before, I left it there in case it was ever used. Looks like it's gonna go to my voicemail for some reason.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 84763.
Oh, I've never set that up with my new phone. Guess I probably should.
Not available.
no, you don't. Do you want people leaving your voicemails?
Actually, I had engineers leave me nasty messages with my old phone. You need to set up your voicemail so I know that I called who I meant to call.
So all
I
you
don't check my voicemail or set
all
it
you
up.
can do is 8. There's no way to scroll to get more.
Right now it's set up for 8. Do you guys foresee using more?
I mean, the only thing we'll ever use really is WebEx.
I started to say WebEx is the only thing I can think
don't
of
know
that
what
would
we
be
use.
used.
Just so this volume here is for the incoming volume. It resets to a default when you start up the system, but then you have that control over it. So the only other thing really on the panel is the display controls. Oh wait, sorry, there's one other thing I added, which actually I didn't test, but I'm confident will work. On your old panel here, you had the screen up-down buttons to turn the projectors on and off quickly from this page. So what I added is a press and hold. So you can select a source and tap to route it, or if you press and hold the source for about 3 seconds, it'll turn that one off, and then it'll go to projector off. So that way, if you ever are on this page, you just want a quick way of turning something off, you can just press and hold the button for 3 seconds, it'll turn that display off. The other way to do that here, if you're in a meeting, is go to the display controls, and it'll give you just manual controls of each of the screens here.
Oh,
So you have power on off, there's the auto setup again, and there's also picture mute. So if you just want to mute the image, usually that's used to kind of get people's attention if they're watching something on the screen or whatever rather than the presenter. Mute the images, and you'll see that, and then your screen up down to manually send the screens up and down. So other than that, and then just down here in the bottom left, you have a power off button. You select power off, and it comes up here, gives you a prompt, asks you if you want to turn off the system. You see down here there is a counter, and it says there's an automatic standby in 3 minutes. If you stay on this page for 3 minutes, like basically somebody just hit power off and walks away and didn't realize they had to hit yes, 3 minutes it'll turn off on its own. It'll just assume that's what they wanted to do. Otherwise you can just hit yes, and it'll shut the system down. So if you're in separate, it's obviously only going to shut down this room and leave that room, unhindered. And you have a cool down for your projectors there.